For the reporter must have the courage and perseverance to get the story in spite of obstacles.
Oh, come on.
It's such a stupid question, man. You're an idiot.
It's been over 5 years since I've talked about fighters getting pissed off at people asking them questions. And you wouldn't believe this, but in that time, there's been plenty more moments where cage fighters and the people interviewing them didn't quite get along. It is shocking, I know. Let's have some fun and talk about them. I'm Tommy from MMA On Point, and these are 10 more times reporters got under fighters' skin. Number 10. What about Bob? Respected MMA media brand Full Send MMA.
Is it the...
was created by the respected media brand The Nelk Boys, who are best buds with Dana White, and when they're not wasting hundreds of thousands of dollars playing blackjack, they're being massively disrespectful to fighters because nothing matters anymore. Friend of The Nelk Boys, Colby Covington, is generally combative with the media, especially if they have something negative to say. He's combative when they don't have something negative to say.
You're a clickbait merchant. Get down and give me 10 push-ups right now! Get on your hands and knees! What?
But when Chaos showed up dressed like a nightclub owner to do a Full Send podcast episode, I'm sure he never imagined that it would be the very boys of Nelk, particularly this one called Bob, who would just shit all over his bouts with Kamaru Usman. The entire exchange started hilariously enough with Covington angling for a fight with Israel Adesanya for some reason.
If they want to put the biggest money business fight the UFC can put together, it's Colby Chaos Covington versus Israel Adesanya.
And then this guy Bob decided fuck you in particular.
The people know the truth.
You actually truly think you won that fight?
Yeah, I swear to God,
like, listen to me. I'm your boy. I
love
love your shoulders respect. Love you. I think you lost the fight. I think Usman kicked the shit out of you.
Given Covington's normal response to this type of thing from media, which would be flying off the handle, watch as a far more vulnerable Colby pushes back civilly in surprise and in an attempt to legitimately defend his performance to this podcaster.
I'm not disrespecting.
You gotta go rewatch that fight, man. You must have not seen the tape.
I've watched it 5 times.
The fourth round, I almost finished him. He was done. If he didn't go to the stool, he was stumbling around. He couldn't even keep his feet. But how could you say I got dominated if I lost 3 rounds to 2 on the judges? They picked 3 rounds to 2. He won by 1 measly round.
Right.
How was that dominated? He won by 1 round.
I was at the fight and I watched it.
A lot of people thought that 1 round he won. No, a lot of people thought I won. Rounds 3, 4, and 5. I won the last 3 rounds, if you ask me.
I think you lost the fight, plain simple. But at the end of the day,
perspective. But that's okay because Bob can have his own opinion. You know, I'm not going to be mad at him. He has a different opinion than me.
I think I'm not trying to be the man. Some reason I think I can kick the shit out of you.
You do. I love that. I love that.
What the fuck is going on?
Awesome, bro. He believes in himself.
This dude?
Bro.
Hey, let's be proud for Bob.
You gotta rough him up a little.
Talk to my people, talk to Dana, we'll make it happen.
What a weird moment. Who talks to fighters like that? Nelk Boys do. That's who.
You gotta select these people better, Gabe.
Number 9, A Tale of Two Stevens. It's everybody's favorite MMA pundit and elite pad puncher, Stephen A. Smith.
First thing I'd say, that left hand, what are you fighting, a pygmy? Really? What, not for nothing, but are you fighting a midget, my man?
There's a duality to Smith's coverage of cage fighting, whether he either asks something stupid and pisses a fighter off, or he asks a really good question which also pisses a fighter off. The stupid one came with weight cut Khabib in the lead up to the Justin Gaethje fight. The Eagle was forced to do first take with Smith and Max Kellerman, and really all they wanted to talk about was fighting Conor McGregor again, which was the furthest thing from Khabib's mind.
Are you interested in that rematch? Would you have any objection to fighting McGregor again if he puts himself in position to challenge for your title?
When Stephen A. pushed on the topic again after several attempts to talk a rematch, Khabib had enough.
You really don't want to fight somebody like Conor McGregor again, primarily because you don't like him. How accurate is that?
Right now, even I don't want to talk about this shit.
Hey, you can't say that on television. Cut to almost a year later, Khabib was retired, and Conor is days away from a doctor's stoppage. This time, Smith rightly brought up that McGregor hadn't had any significant wins in some time, with the implication and the mention of Khabib setting Conor off.
Because again, I go back to you, Conor. The Nurmagomedov loss. Dustin Poirier lost.
Where's he gone, Bo? Where's he now?
He's retired.
Yeah, well, boy, he went sprinting. He's gone. Shit, his jocks came fat and riding off. He done nothing in the sport. All he done in the sport.
That is an angry Irishman, but someone managed to piss him off even worse. Number 8, Pink Suit Guy.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, how could we do a follow-up video about reporters pissing off fighters and not include this dude?
You look like a bottle of Pepto-Bismol.
Pink Suit Guy's name is Josh Cohen from ESPN South Florida. He also apparently had an MMA podcast with Dean Thomas, which I guess we all collectively missed because there are 17,000 new MMA podcasts every single week. Cohen comes from the journalistic school of wearing something ridiculous to stand out and asking questions that are clearly meant to piss people off. Here he is antagonizing Colby Covington in a less vibrant pink suit.
Do you agree right now to allow an independent medical team to determine once and for all whether or not that man broke your face?
So yeah, I mean, not exactly going to win a Pulitzer, but again, very clearly getting the reaction he wanted. Which brings us to the peak of his career at that massive presser for Conor versus Poirier 3. It's here that Pink Suit Guy was born and managed to get Conor all sorts of fired up.
You have won exactly one fight since Barack Obama was president.
Hold your mouth, I'll go down and smash your nose.
Conor,
I'll go down and smash your nose. It's one more fight I won than your little sissy ass, you little fanny pad.
Afterwards, Cohen took to his podcast with Dean Thomas to justify his jerk-ass question with a very disingenuous explanation.
I asked a question of a fighter that everything I stated was factual. And if we're getting into like hurt feelings and disrespect, are you serious? The things coming out of everyone else's mouth that's up there?
I know, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, gotta hand it to the dude. He definitely got noticed, which was the whole point, and now he lives in MMA presser infamy. Number 7, Game Board. Oh god, I died a bit inside for friend of the channel and Morning Combat co-host Brian Campbell on this one. Brian got a pretty cool gig doing the in-ring interviews for the boxing match between Jorge Masvidal and Nate Diaz that I bet you already forgot happened last year.
Are you serious?
But happened, it did indeed, with Stockton's second son earning a majority decision after 10 rounds of swanging and banging with them 10-ouncers. Now, it's never easy interviewing someone who just lost. They're obviously massively disappointed, and it's hard to know what's gonna set them off. After 2 questions about technical aspects of the fight, Campbell had a third, and it was not well received.
As I mentioned, Nate came out really fast paced. Was there any thought of you that this may be too fast?
You asking the wrong questions, bro. Fuck type of question is that?
The awkwardness is too much. To be fair to Brian, I don't think it was a horrible question. I think Jorge was just tired of talking about this fight that he just lost, as was evident by him trying to start something with one of the 379 people in the ring for some reason almost immediately afterwards.
Things getting a little heated inside the ring, and this is as real as it gets.
Number 6, Cheeto Libre. So remember at the start of the video when that Nelk boy ripped into Colby Covington for some reason? Well, there's this other Nelkster called OG Shaunie Mac, apparently.
That can't possibly be your real name.
And he is uniquely gifted at pissing off fighters under the guise of the Full Send MMA brand, as you will see several times today. The first bit of stupidity we'll explore is the time that Shaunie caught up with Cheeto Vera at an event and wanted to celebrate his Mexican heritage by invoking Jack Black.
I'm gonna put mine on. Do you wanna put yours on? So in the movie, he always yells Nacho Libre. He yells Nacho, but I'm gonna end this interview by yelling Cheeto!
No.
Cheeto is famously not Mexican, but in fact from Ecuador, and was none too happy about the stupid interview, as per teammate Luke Rockhold, who absolutely laid into Mr. OG Shaunie, but also the entire idea of Dude Bro Media. Grab some popcorn, this one's good.
You know, this degenerate culture of fucking Barstool Sports and Full Send is that you gotta do your homework. You can't approach Cheeto and give him a fucking Mexican mask about his culture. His culture, he's fucking Ecuadorian, motherfucker. Do your homework. Yeah, I know you guys got carte blanche because Dana's fucking partner with you guys right now, but fucking do your fucking homework and grow a better culture.
Pump it into my veins. We'll catch back up with Shaunie a bit later. Number 6, Budgy Smugglers. The thing about getting a media pass for a UFC event is that you don't exactly need to have gone to Brown to get accepted, even if you aren't best friends with Dana White. Although Karen Bryant did go to Brown, so put some respect on her name. But with more lax credentials, sometimes reporters make it to the junket that aren't really there for anything hard-hitting. In fact, they might be there for a laugh, which is fine if done respectfully, like John Bernard K. Roos, who covers the sport through a comedic lens. But unfortunately, 3 things that don't really mix: comedy, Islam Makhachev during a weight cut having to do a whole bunch of interviews, and underwear. More specifically, Budgy Smugglers, which are an Australian swimwear brand. John Bernard thought it would be funny to offer both Islam and Volk a pair to help them stay comfy while training. It was a lighthearted bit, and Alex took it just about exactly how you would think he would.
Would you train in the Budgy Smugglers?
No, I do actually. I got a few pairs at home. I don't mind chucking them on.
Islam also took it about just how you think he would.
Okay. Going to improve your performance. Would you wear the budgies for training?
No?
Now, Makhachev's little irritated, confused walk-off would have been enough to make the list. But according to an interview that one of his coaches did with Russian outlet Usha Taika, Islam was so upset he was considering going back and giving the guy a slap or two. Luckily, cooler heads prevailed. The lesson here is, I think, don't offer strange undergarments to Makhachev if he's cutting weight unless you want to get dealt with. Number 5, listless. Have you ever been telling someone else exactly how you feel about someone? You're not holding back at all, and then it turns out they're in earshot of you?
God! You were supposed to be my friend!
It's one of those terribly awkward life moments, which then got hilariously compounded because Dana White is a big old jerk. Perhaps this reporter would have chosen different phrasing when discussing Ian Garry's bout against Jeff Neal if he were actually talking to Ian Garry, but at the time, he was safely asking Uncle Dana until...
Ian Garry didn't really have a nice performance, pretty listless by most regards. What do you make of his performance tonight?
Oh, he's back there. Hey, Ian. This guy thinks your fight sucked tonight. He wants to know my opinion on your fight sucking tonight.
Oh, and in case you were wondering if that truly bothered Ian or if he was just having a bit of fun, here's the very start of his section of the post-fight presser.
Firstly, that's ridiculous. What was listless about it, out of curiosity, from your point of view? Footwork, speed, elusivity. If Jeff Neal was running at you swinging bombs, what would you do? You'd fucking run.
Garry threw it out there yet again, answering another question later, just in case the reporter hadn't died inside yet quite enough.
Are we talking about world title fights at that point?
No, I want to earn it. I really want to earn it so that people don't say it's listless.
It's pretty rare that fighters are confronted with negative outlooks on their performances that are so blunt, and in large part because the guy had no clue Garry was there. So all things considered, you could tell it bothered Ian, but he did a fair enough job of addressing it. I know a lot of fighters would have been flustered in that moment. Number 4, the P stands for irritated. So Chael P. Sonnen has definitely had some combative interviews over the years, but they are very gangster coded. They still feel like they're part of the show.
How could you even say something so stupid?
Why would I make that up exactly? Why?
I just think you're probably incompetent. I didn't say it.
But there was no playing it up for an interview that Chael did with Mark Raimondi for MMA Fighting in the lead up to his Bellator debut against Tito Ortiz. This was your typical media day affair, and the two got on the topic of the downed opponent rule change that came in 2017, something Sonnen opposed.
One thing this sport did not need was more danger. It's a pretty wide open combat sport. I was very surprised that rule got passed. I was very surprised that anybody suggested it.
Things dragged on a bit with 3 follow-up questions related to the new rule, and when Mark asked yet another, Chael got uncharacteristically pissed.
No, let's move on. This is stupid. Go. Something else. Don't be one of those scumbags that edits that out. I said your question was stupid. Put that in there.
I'm not the editor.
My wife's filming it back here, and she'll put it out if you don't.
I don't edit.
I'm letting you know now for whatever chicken is it. Give me the fucking microphone. You know what? I'm done.
I can count on one hand the amount of times I've ever heard Chael Sonnen say a curse word in public. And for an interview that's all 84,000 views, it's safe to say there was no gimmick here. That was just a very annoyed gangster. Now, was it that the questions weren't helping him sell a fight, or was it the mention of Randy Couture? I do not know, but a rare moment from the bad guy. Number 2, full scent. Hey, look, it's the Nelk boys. Again. It's almost like none of the fighters like these fucking guys.
Oh, I don't blame them.
We're back with OG Shaunie again, and after the last one, are you surprised? So here's the thing. There's like a 63% chance that any interview with Nate Diaz will piss him off in some way, shape, or form. I've even had Nate Diaz say fuck Tommy Toehold on a live stream that is sadly lost in cyberspace now. So exercising caution with Diaz is absolutely a good idea, but caution is not something that the Nelk boys exercise in any capacity ever, as we demonstrated already. And Shaunie found out what fucking around can sometimes lead to when it's with the wrong group of people. Let's just enjoy the clip, and then we can explain what exactly it is that happened here.
Stockton's finest, Nate Diaz. He's coming to check out Sugar Sean, right?
Nah, you better watch the tweets about who fought recently.
Oh, I know.
So what made Nate Diaz slap this bumbling goober who's just nodding at him before he takes one to the hat? I'll let Shaunie Mac explain, and refer to himself in the third person as if you needed any more reason to not feel any sort of way about him getting his hat knocked off.
He had a training partner, Nick Maximov. There was a thing going on about Nate Diaz possibly fighting Khamzat Chimaev, and he's like, fuck that. He's like, fight my boy over here. And it just awkwardly pans the camera to Nick Maximov. I had made a meme about it. Nick Maximov. He got tapped out in the first round of his next fight. And naturally, OG being OG, he was a bit harsh on him. So I screenshotted a picture of Nick Maximov obviously slept in the cage, and I put the Nate Diaz quote, Khamzat Chimaev, come fight my boy.
So there you have it, a classic tale of talk shit get hit. Number 1, Helwani. When Ariel Helwani left ESPN in 2021, he also decided to take any bit of gloves off that he might have had working for Mickey Mouse, and thus Helwani was born. If you had beef, if you wanted smoke, you were getting 10-7 live on the show, like former fighter Brendan Schaub that one time.
You try to sell merch to no one and rip off logos of other people the same way you try to sell comedy tickets to no one, and then they have to combine the days.
Or how about Helwani's on-again, off-again frenemy Dylan Danis?
I thought it was a bit, you know, if I'm being honest, a bit of a bitch move not to shake the hand.
I'll shake it after.
Only 2 kinds of people wear sunglasses indoors. Blind people and fucking assholes.
You're wearing glasses indoors?
Sunglasses!
Same shit.
And while all these recent moments are well and good, we gotta talk about that time that Ariel absolutely went off on Bob Sapp back in 2012, causing one of the most insane breakdowns I've ever listened to in my life. At the time, Sapp was on an 8-fight losing streak that would extend to 14 losses, all by way of finish. What was happening was that Bob was essentially immediately laying down if there was any trouble and taking a TKO loss, getting his payday but unwilling to risk injury, so essentially just not fighting at all. When confronted by Helwani during this 45-minute phone call on his behavior, things got pretty brutal, in a 14-time Journalist of the Year type of way. But when faced with criticism, Sapp just became completely unhinged.
So you threw up some videos that do you have the copyrights? Did you ask me to broadcast my image?
If we're gonna have a normal conversation, I'm happy to have it, but I'm not here to have a silly one where you're making voices and whatnot. I already lost enough respect that I had for you, a guy who I did like to watch back in the day. And now you're making a mockery not only of the sport but of yourself at this point, Bob. I'm trying to ask you questions.
From you, I'm definitely going to cry. I done lost respect, and I don't even know the show's name. I done lost all respect.
It is shocking to see that this interview only has 59,000 views because it's one of the most bizarre all-time moments this sport has ever had, and it's also proof that Ariel's always been down to hold people to task.
But you are not a fighter, Bob. You're as much of a fighter as I am.
For that level of meltdown, and I would highly recommend listening to the whole 45 minutes, Bob had to top the list. And at the top of my list is always the editor of this video, Max Randall. Please follow him on his socials, go check out his awesome YouTube channel, and give the guy a digital high five. Massive thank you to our channel members. Your support means so much to us. Fight fans, hit the join button, get exclusive content, become a member as well. Like and subscribe, because what else are you gonna do on your lunch break? Leave a comment about which of these fighters you thought got the most shook, and thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.